Hello, everyone. I'm Phalanges.
Phalanges, what are those like finger bones? And I'm Dancerzak, not a randomly generated name.
It does sound AI generated. Anyway, this is the MouseCast podcast for the week of Thursday, January 2nd, right? Um,
Something like that.
this week we are talking about Finalmouse is releasing the Ultralight X Prophecy series. Do we care? Also, the final pad. They're actually releasing a mouse pad. This is kind of cool, kind of not. And did you guys know that lithium ion batteries from your mouse, when they're leaking lithium, lithium smells like bubblegum? We'll talk more about that.
We're going to cover our top mice from 2024. I made a video about it, which does not include Optimum Tech's new Zeromouse, Optimum Tech's old Zeromouse, any of his Zero mice, but we'll talk about them.
Cool. So, reminder, we do these episodes we film them Thursdays. We release them every Friday. You get a new episode every Friday. So please subscribe if this is something that interests you, and share it with your friends who um, might want to listen in too. So,
And please go ahead and check out our episode from last week. It was an in-person Christmas episode, and I think it needs a little more love. So
yeah, thank you. That was Dazz and I talked about that afterward, and that was one of the most fun episodes. That's probably the most fun episode we've recorded so far.
for sure.
I think it shows too. So as always, let's start off. What is on your desk right now, Daz?
There's an Aeroneer Gecko because I reshot a thumbnail for an old video that looked like crap, so I had to put the same mousepad I used in it. And then the M-Shows L7 and the Madar, because I'm comparing them right now for a video I'm going to make next. So
Okay, yeah, and
same Nacho one you've got, Nacho Designs custom version of the Gecko.
yeah, I just had to pull up a picture because Ireneer. How do you phonetically
I say
Ireneer?
Aeroneer, who knows?
Well, Ireneer, I think you have it right. It's just what does the YouTube captions show?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
So, okay, I've got one that is, so first of all, I have an Attack Shark R2, this guy. And I also have a KX100 Ember Edge pad that I've really been enjoying. Nobody really knows about this pad. It's on Amazon. Is it worth $40? Maybe. It's kind of like an aqua control. It's very thin though, which is nice, so it feels like a kind of harder. And then it's a nice size. I don't know why more pads aren't this size. All right. So let's jump into some news this week. Well, actually, why don't we recap 2024? We had some amazing releases in 2024. Like, I think for the first time, I started getting bored with mouse releases because things are so good now. So you can just kind of take one look at something and be like, pass. Whereas before it would be like everything was a new shape. Now there's so much derivatives. But Daz did a YouTube video sifting through all of the minutia and came up with his top five from the 2024. Do we want to recap these?
Yeah, I started with a couple honorable mentions. The U2 because I like it a lot, and also to tease my M7 review that's dropping actually 5 hours before this episode tomorrow morning. As well as the ATK X1, which I did have and enjoyed, and the HitScan Hyperlight. They're very good mice. They just didn't quite make my top five, so
Have you tried a HitScan Hyperlight?
I have not. If one popped up cheaply on on the market, I'd pick it up.
Okay,
Got
cool.
some Marvel Rivals footage, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Is that what you two? And you got better skates on it too. Good.
yeah, it came with BTLs. Yep.
Nice. Okay. Okay, so are these in order?
They are. Yep.
Okay, so I'll jump to.
So coming in at number five, we have the Beast
I don't
X
want to just sit here
Max
and watch
from
your
WLMouse.
video, but
Oh no,
how you
please do
want to
no.
do this? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Beast X Max up there. Really enjoyed the boards edition with the stripes on the clicks, but it was just overall not. I don't love the Finalmouse shape, but this large shape from WLMouse just fits my hand really well, even without a lot of backup support. And every feature of the mouse is just really good. Scroll wheel, clicks, build quality, all around. So that's how it made my top five.
Yeah, I absolutely love mine too. I love that it actually comes with two different dongles, the nano receiver and the bigger one.
Yep.
Build quality is solid. It's so funny. WLMouse here getting in the top five, and we thought they were vaporware last year when they were teasing this stuff.
So the way I introduced it in the video is we saw the tweet, thought it was a meme, and then they made great mice. So
Yeah. I guess my only gripes with it are the side grips are a necessity.
Yeah, they are. I tried to go without, and it was the no-go.
And personally, I prefer the Finalmouse large shape is shorter in height. It's a little bit flatter. But other
Mm.
than that, I mean, dude, I'm on opticals. Have you tried their TTC Nihil switches?
I've only run across the Omron versions, so
Yeah, I had a Sword X with the Nihils. Omrons are better. The Nihils, they don't feel like anything. They just feel like maybe a little bit more higher pitched, like TTC Gold. I don't know.
it's interesting you mentioned the height because I like this being taller. Surprisingly, it fits
Good.
my
Yeah.
preferences better. So then we
Um,
went on to another company we thought was a meme, Scyrox. That didn't exist at the beginning of the year. It
and
made my top 4.
didn't you confirm like, or someone confirmed that they are?
Boardsy said in a video they're a Lamzu sub brand. Yeah,
Yeah. They're like their
like
FCC filings or something. It seemed loose, or they were like signed by the same president. What was it?
I'm not exactly what the reasoning was, or sure what the reasoning was, but
What do you think is
that
the
was.
business reason?
Is it like a way to circumvent like being sued for stealing shapes, maybe, or to feel less bad about it? I don't know.
Oh, maybe it is like a liability protection type of thing. I was thinking
Yeah,
more just like, um, let's say you're going to come out with a new mouse and you are worried it's going to flop or something, and you don't want it to like hurt your reputation or something. More of like an experimental brand. But I don't know. Everything they came out with was like good. Whereas like, remember the Lamzu Pero? That came out in August. Do you remember it? Because nobody seems to have remembered it.
these are only clones. Was my like reasoning for what I said there, but yeah, they have not made like an original shape under the Scyrox brand yet.
Yeah.
I'd argue the Scyrox V8's a little bit not directly a clone, but it is.
True.
The shape idea is a straight clone.
Yeah.
This would be higher, which I said in the video, if it had a better coating and
Yep.
the clicks were a
Pulsar's is better.
little tighter.
Yeah. The Maya X is number 3.
My X came in at 3. Then I talked about how I wish it had a better coating, and then I legitimately recommend the Mad G over it. So I like the bigger dimensions on the back of the Mad G. I like the coating better. It just feels better in hand. I haven't touched the Maya X in use in like 3 weeks, but it was that good to make number 3 on the list still.
Yeah, dude. My Mad G also came in a few days ago. The coating is actually pretty darn good. It is noticeably better than ATK stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a solid mouse. It's weird because for me, I don't feel very locked in with it, but it still is. I changed my scroll wheel color because why not? And I
Yeah,
weight modded it, battery swapped it down to 41 grams.
of course you did. I was legitimately mid-reviewing a video, weighed my M7, and was like, "Oh, he battery modded this," and had to like change what I said in the video.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, "I'm gonna weigh for the sake of weighing, but this isn't the actual weight."
yeah,
It's funny. It feels good at 49.
yep. Okay. And
Number 2 was Viper V3 Pro, where I went on to recommend the X1 Ultimate over it because the stock skates are better, the coating's almost as good, and I just prefer the Omrons.
yeah,
Viper wins. I mean, Viper's amazing. Razor's opticals are pretty good, and their side buttons easily win. But that's one thing clones never do better, almost ever, is the side buttons. They're smaller, they're looser, they're just not as good. But
yep.
for the price, we're like, why not? Why aren't you buying an X1, I guess?
Okay, so far, 4 out of 5 are all featuring Omron opticals.
And then we break from that. If you want to play this last section here right from the beginning,
You
with
want
like audio. Yeah, start.
My favorite mouse.
Oh, you're going fast.
I originally had the white version. This is obviously the purple frost because I'm an enthusiast.
Yeah, just go right before the timestamp.
If you're going for build quality,
This is my attempt at comedy.
and coming in at number 1, a truly shocking mouse to put. Nah. Okay, we have the OP1 8K.
And I landed it
Nah.
perfectly in line there too.
that is
I originally had the white version.
Parallel
This is
parked
obviously
it,
the
look at
purple
that.
frost because I'm an
Yep, I
enthusiast.
tossed the battery, the loose battery X3.
There's a little bit of creature on
Dude.
this mouse. That's my opinion. And coming in at number 1, a truly shocking mouse to put.
The
Nah.
gap.
Actually coming in at number 1,
That's
the
brilliant.
OP1 8K.
And even
Yeah.
the angle that you have here shows how terrible. Nobody's talking about this, dude.
I forgot to talk about it in my video. Yep.
Yeah. I think it looks so bad. I'm like we're being way nitpicky, but
And coming
still.
in at number 1, just because I'm an enthusiast, I would honestly recommend the white version if you're going for build quality. There's a little.
Do you
bit of
still want me
creaking
to
on
go
this
through
mouse.
this?
Nah, it was just really that
A little
start.
later.
Okay.
But yeah, we got mechanical switches on this OP1 8K. I talked about how the super narrow shape makes it feel like I'm like writing with a pencil when aiming. I like the stock skates. Some people don't. GX speed mode's cool. It legitimately, I get the lowest scores in like human reaction tests with this mouse, and I'm not convinced it's not that. So,
Okay. Yeah. Solid.
I would have also mentioned the XM2 8K and XM2W if I had ever touched them, but I didn't. And like the OP1 4K wireless is probably like pretty equivalent, but
Yeah.
this is always on my desk because I'm not going to unplug it. It's Bungie, so
Yeah. Yeah, I want to try
teaching
an
the ruin.
XM2 8K at some point. I said that last episode. So, how does your list compare to other people's lists?
It's very similar in a lot of ways. Some people had my honorable mentions in their list. Some people had like 10 mice lists, but like there wasn't a lot of variation, honestly. I tried to add the budget twist to differentiate and also not put the Viper first to differentiate. Some people put ergos in because they're crazy.
I love
No.
that you did that. Yeah, no ergos.
I just never end up using them. I own like 2 at the moment.
Isn't that weird? And our hands are not symmetrical, but I'm with you too. And ambies have forever been more popular than ergos. Forever.
And my grip is tilt claw, and I just don't.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's pinky to thumb distance. I think it's something about that that just doesn't feel as precise, but yeah.
Okay. So, Daz and I actually talked before recording about like what my list would be. And the thing is, I don't think I have a list because I don't think it would be different enough from Daz's. The Scyrox V8, I honestly prefer the X2H's shape, but I can't argue that the Cyrox's, the clicks on mine are great, the skates on mine are great. Oh, well, these are aftermarket. Price, weight, all that, very good. So instead, what I'm going to say is my mouse of the year is anything with Omron opticals. I love Omron opticals. One, I guess, thing that I would mention is the Attack Shark R2 is a really, really good shape. It's like a taller Viper mini shape. So it has a little bit of contouring. Build quality is good. Weight's good, as long as you're okay with magnesium. One thing that the X3, the Attack Shark X3 and R2 does well, the comfort grooves, like usually mice, the comfort grooves are like the grooviest all the way at the front. And personally, that's not where I grip, and a lot of people don't grip there. You know, you end up gripping more back here if you claw. Well, the R2 and X3, their comfort grooves are actually the deepest, like right next to the scroll wheel. So it feels a bit more natural. Anyway, it's just a mouse that flew under the radar, uses Omron opticals, but I'm not going to call it like the mouse of the year. It's just a very good option. I would say the mouse of the year is anything with Omron opticals.
Yeah, I agree. Worthy does not agree. He's not a fan of Omrons, but
Yeah, no, I
doesn't dislike them, but they're fine.
Yeah.
They're probably my second favorite. Like a really, really well implemented Huano Blue Shell Pink Dot is super satisfying to click, or anything in a Vaxi XE. But
yeah. Okay, let's jump over to. We're gonna go through a bunch of news. We have a lot of news this week. WLMouse Strider. This is a new ambi from them. Look at that.
I like the skate design off the top there.
Yeah,
Big
this
old-
looks GPX-ish. Yep,
Mhm.
huge skate on the top. The ROM ES21 has some monster skates. Kind of like the X2. Yeah, some monster skates, dude. That's actually one I do want to try. So this is looking like an X2H, right?
Is it? I can't tell.
To me,
It
this
doesn't look as back compy, does it?
maybe.
Is it
the
any
best
profile
pictures?
shot? Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't know if I can search WLMouse Strider Twitter. You think they
Is it-
have more pictures?
Is it X2, X2H, or in between? I can't tell hump placement.
Oh, these are better quality pictures. Yeah, they don't show it. This colorway is sick. Oh, so is this one. Damn.
WLMouse always has great colorways.
The scroll wheel rubber is a bit different too. That's kind of cool. So they're going with magnesium. I'm guessing they're going to do their. This is all speculation. I don't know if we have info. Can you see if you can find
Oh.
actual information on it?
Well, so one of the top comments is XM2, is this you? It does kind of have like that vibe to it.
It does, yeah, kind of the flattish buttons.
A little bit wider, maybe.
Yeah, wider. It does
Maybe,
seem like
maybe.
it's going to be more back humpy.
The next comment is they're copying every in-game gear shape or what? Because the Yang is probably the OP1-ish shape.
Hmm.
Strider XMR.
Do the comments have any additional information?
Nope.
Okay.
Not at all. They just called it the WLMouse 4K.
Top comment is solid sides, please. Yeah. 2024
Yeah.
has been like the year of we're starting to see carbon fiber mice and we're going back to solid sides.
These are more solider than not, it looks like, but there's still like some
Yeah.
holes.
It looks like they've done the same as what they've done with the Sword X, where they had
Mhm.
like a design element that would make a solid piece, but they would still have the holes. Dude, just put the holes in. It won't even add a gram. It's probably adding like half a gram. I would.
The thing I think is really, which mouse from G Wolves has like the honeycomb, but it's filled in and looks just like dumb as heck.
Yeah, that's like the
HTX Mini?
G-Wolves HTR. The HTX Mini does too. Yep.
Why?
So, your endgame gear might look like this. I think it's a structural reason. If you have, oh man, I don't want to get super nerdy.
You can feel those, right? Like that's like an indent on top of the mouse, isn't it? Or is it under the mouse?
No, these are indents. Yeah, that's for sure
Okay, yeah,
indents.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you were to just have the plastic shell be flat, completely flat inside and outside, that actually would be weaker than having a structure like this. Um, I don't really can't think of a really good way to picture this. Oh,
The
here
G
you go.
Wolves class, dear Lord.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I didn't even see that till the. Yeah, it's similar to if I have, here we go, I have a piece of metal here. Don't ask why. It's a lot easier for me to bend it. Not really, because this thing's super rigid. Bend it like this
Mm,
versus if I were to bend it like this, right?
you're right, right.
Because if you have a shape like this and you try to bend it, then all of this from midpoint down is going under compression. All this is going in tension, and it's very strong. It's why I-beams are the shape they are. It's the same thing. So endgame gear, you'll see on their translucent shell. Endgame gear, OP1 purple. You can see they have these triangles, and
Mhm.
that's
Okay.
structural. That's way stronger than if it were to just be flat. Yeah. Why they put? Oh, sorry. Why they put
Why
it
they
on
put
the
it on the outside of
outside?
the shell is what I was, yeah.
I don't know. Did you see their strawberry edition?
I did. It's
That
truly
is.
hilarious.
I'm glad that they leaned into the meme. Oh, they don't have it on here?
It was last time we looked.
Oh, did we? I just think this is adorable. They leaned into it and they gave it a green side buttons and a green scroll wheel. That's brilliant. Brilliant marketing. Okay. WLMouse Strider. Anything else we have to say?
Nah.
No. It's probably going to come in Omron Opticals as an option, like they do with all their other mice. Maybe. I don't know. Or would you buy one?
Hope so. Not for retail.
Yep, same. Okay, sorry, last question. Which colorway? White, black,
Mm,
purple, gold.
probably purple. Just because it's
Purple.
so out there.
I think I'd go for the gold. Yeah, the purple is way out there. I don't like the white and purple. There's a sports team, the Jaguars, NFL. I don't know.
No, they're not. But it looks like an alternate Black Panthers like skin in a game.
Sure. I feel like it just needs one more color. Like it needs some black or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
The iridescent here is very cool, but I don't like black peripherals. I would go for the gold. Okay. How about another mouse release? I'm gonna skip in our document a little bit here and talk about one that I'm hyped for. Oh, Waizowl Cloud XS. Oh my gosh. Heavy breathing. I love the Waizowl Cloud. The only thing holding it back for me at this point is I'm so spoiled by Omron Opticals. The side buttons aren't great. The coding is okay. It could be better, but it's decent. Yeah, I absolutely love the shape. So the
For me,
Cloud
it's
X.
shell design, but
Yeah. The Cloud XS was teased a long time ago, so I believe it's finally on Elo Shapes. So the Waizowl Cloud is a SteelSeries Sensei clone. I'll bring up the Sensei. So basically a SteelSeries Sensei. That's as big as I can make it. And then the Cloud XS is just a smaller version. So I believe this is supposed to be, is it Kinzu or Kana? Kinzu sized. Whereas the Kana, they don't have. Then there's also supposed to be a Waizowl Cloud S. I saw that in the comments. I can't confirm it. But yeah, so it's an older SteelSeries shape. I can already tell they have a nice ridge here. So that's going to be nice for lifting with the ring finger. I care a lot about the sides. And on their Discord, they had, let's see if I can bring it up without like messing things up. In their Discord, they had a unique colorway that I'm actually pretty hyped for. Let's see here. Announcements, maybe? Yeah, here we go. Here's what they have to say. They say Happy New Year for everyone here at Waizowl. We have the OGM Cloud XS. I wonder what OGM stands for. 45 grams, 117 millimeters long. Width is 55 at the narrowest, 63 at the widest. That's nice, so you're going to have a nice hourglass shape. Height's 35 millimeters, so it's rather flat. Nordic 52840 and Pixar 3950, so it's going to be top specs, good battery life. Coding Feather Gen 3. I don't know what this means. I don't know what generation coding their like clouds are, but hopefully they've improved it. Again, it's not bad. It's just could be better. Raisha opticals for the switches or Huano green shell white dots. So
Green shell white dots are fine. I've used them.
Yeah. I
Raishas
personally
rather jump off a bridge.
yeah. I actually don't mind Raishas. They're very spammable to me, even though they're not very tactile. As long as they're implemented well. Like them in the Viper V3, I don't mind. Encoders.
That's fair.
TTC Silver, I don't. Yeah, okay. TTC Silvers are a more tactile encoder. Not quite Alps level. Anyway, that is a beautiful colorway right there. The topographic, I like that a lot. So, I am like really tempted. I almost never buy anything full price retail. I'm a little bit tempted with this. If it was Amron Opticals, I would, but I'm probably gonna wait for reviews. I still might spend full price on one. We'll see.
I'll never try it. It's too short. And too short height-wise.
Yeah, that's fair. The skates, have you noticed this trend with skates where they don't have adhesive around the outer edge? And I think this is supposed to give them more rounding.
So is that what causes that? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the adhesive is only the solid white part.
Maybe they pick up less crap too, which always bothers me.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it too. Anyway, they have their logo into the bottom of the mouse. That's pretty cool. I can't believe
awesome.
This thing has taken forever to launch, and it hasn't been on FCC ID, which has been a bummer. Anyway.
I would get like the Waizowl Cloud S, but not the XS. Because if it gets this short lengthwise and it's that short height-wise, it doesn't fit my grip.
Yep.
Kind of like an HTX.
Their PCB looks interesting here. They have pretty unique looking PCB. All right. Well, I want to move on to, let's go back to maybe one that you can speak more to. Oh, ads. So this is an Optimum video making the ultimate 19-gram mouse.
Yep, he's calling it the Zeromouse Blade. Comes in under 20 grams. The cool part about this is that he collabed with Finalmouse to get the PCB, a custom PCB for this mouse. I believe they coined it the latest PCB ever made. Obviously, this is just kind of his thing, like his little baby. I think he made it for himself just to make back in the day, but now it's like a product people actually want, so he sells it. It's gone through many iterations. He's also got the Huano blue shell pink dots in this one, which is awesome. Love those switches. So that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
3D printed, but a very high quality from what he says. So
yeah, so you guys should I don't. You guys
It's
should
not
check
for
out his
us,
video. Yeah.
I don't think, but yeah,
I
it's not cheap at $150, but it will sell out. I guarantee it.
yeah.
Or it did sell out. I don't know if it's up already, but
So he's using the Finalmouse internals because, well, one, it's proven performance, and two, uh, it's like one of the lightest weight PCBs or something. I feel like
yeah, I
we've
believe
seen
so.
smaller, but and then a 250 milliamp hour battery. Again, a Finalmouse branded one.
Full collab.
Yeah. So I know from okay, I haven't watched the video, but from what I've read, so the 3D printed materials that seems like it's the same as, oh, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. If it's
Advanced nylon PA12 material. That's what it says.
okay. So yeah, nylon PA12. I don't know a ton about like different types of nylon. Nylon 6 or 6.6 is the most common, like what you'll see. It's a very strong um it's a very very strong and tensile strength plastic. Um Nylon 12 I believe is just like a lower melting temperature, so it's easier to 3D print, but I think it's inferior like mechanically. But 3D printed nylon. This is sintered with a Lisa. I'm guessing this is with a Sinterit Lisa Pro. I'm pretty sure these are made on SLS printers because you can't really see the layers. So instead of being like printed layer by layer, it still is printed like layer by layer, but it's sintered. So inside of this printer, you have a powder, and then a laser goes through and melts the powder and does it layer by layer. So you have, instead of having a stair-stepping look, it's a much more finished look.
Yeah, I'm reading that this version of nylon is known for its toughness, tensile strength. Not sure what tensile means. And ability to flex without fracturing. So kind of makes sense.
Tensile strength is if you take like a piece of gum and you stretch it, and it gets thinner and thinner as you keep stretching.
Mm,
Yeah,
that makes
that's
sense here. Okay.
tension. Yeah, so
Yep.
yep. Um, so something like nylon is kind of a softer plastic, so in tension it'll elongate a little bit, then it'll snap, whereas a harder, more brittle plastic like an ABS would just pretty much snap right away. Anyway, so nylon will have like a softer feel. This is gonna feel much better than a 3D printed than like a FDM printed mouse.
Gotcha.
But that's cool that he's partnered with somebody else to do the internals. So I guess he wanted to move away from this kit mentality with like DIY assembly. So he's shipping these things as completed units. Um, the price tag has got to not be cheap because, yeah, I got it here. Zeromouse Blade. It's not launched yet, but it's on their website for $149. That's a lot. I wonder how much Finalmouse is charging him for the PCB and battery.
That definitely inflated the price, I would think.
Yeah.
What was the last one? The cost of the original or the last version? Be like 35, I think it was. Is it up there anymore?
I don't know. Zeromouse price.
That website could be better.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, Zeromouse V35.
Moron's review. I genuinely love that.
Yeah. I guess they're
It's
justifying
not
it
much
'cause-
more. It says 140-ish overall.
yeah,
When
it
you put it
still
together.
is like an experimental thing. So I get,
It's a super enthusiast, right? Like mouse.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not. I think if he releases something next, I think he's gonna have to figure out the price a little bit differently because when you're going from a mod kit, it's like understood you're buying a mod kit and then you're buying another mouse and you're combining the two. But with that other mouse, you could get something like as is crusty as heck off of eBay because all you care about are the internals. So you could save money that way. There's also then the labor of putting the two things together, which is like a lot of people
Right.
don't want to deal with that.
Me. Yeah.
Right, but like how much money would you if you could get a so his previous one was how much did that say? I don't think
It was
69.
140. I don't know if
I don't know if that I don't know. If
I'm
it
not sure what
used
like a frugal, fully complete old Zeromouse was. Yeah.
you can get 3D printed if I go on eBay and I look up like 3D printed mouse fingertip. You're probably going to find, okay, so it doesn't know my location because I'm incognito, but 25-ish bucks. Let's call it $30. You can get someone that's printed one. So assuming you don't have a 3D printer. And then a lot of these use like Viper V2 Pro internals, okay? You're going to use Viper V2 Pro. You can get them any like as cheap as like $35-ish if you're super lucky, but more typical is probably 50 to 60. So you would be all in for $80 to $90. I don't know. That's like quite a bit. I don't know. I just think he should. The Finalmouse partnership is like a good stepping stone. I wonder if he's considering like actually making his own PCB, because the PCB is where you make money, dude. The components for a PCB are way cheap. I mean, remember that other guy who had the most upvoted comment from this year on Reddit? This one? He made his own PCB. Yeah, dude, you can go and like get PCBs made for like 70 cents. Get like 10 of them for like $7.
Oh.
It's like they're incredibly cheap. You have all the work of like laying them out and designing them. And then the components are super cheap too. Micro switches are 30 cents. The sensor is $5 for a top end sensor. MCU and all this stuff. The real sauce is in like the firmware, writing all the firmware and designing and the electrical design and stuff. But if you can offload that, if Zeromouse Blade is successful for him and he can contract out some of that stuff and develop his own PCB, then that's kind of a money printing machine, especially if you just start using that PCB and everything. Because I wouldn't be surprised if Finalmouse right now is like charging him like $70, $80, $90 for their PCB, and his margin is like, and his margin is only like after shipping and after the 3D printed and packaging and instructions and stickers and all that cable, if his margin's only like 15, 20 bucks per unit. Even at a $149 price tag.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I shouldn't speculate, though. I don't know. This is a podcast. Maybe we should. Who cares? All right. How about talking about Finalmouse? Let's talk about the new Ultralight X Prophecy. I don't have a whole lot to say here, but
it's just the ULX with more colors.
ULX with more colors. And are these solid sides or no? They are. Nope. These are still. No, they are solid sides. Okay.
That's nice.
Good. So I'm guessing this is their new like competition basically, but then different colors.
And they just gave it, well, these are people associated with each color, right? Tarek clicks.
Yeah. Okay, so Finalmouse Twitter says specifically formulated colors were developed exclusively for each prophecy design with the paint protected by our new ULX competition UV matte top coating, providing excellent grip and durability. That's good. I do remember the Tarek had a pretty nice coating, but it was prone to yellowing. The sides of the chassis now features artwork with a satin undercoat. I don't know what that means. The prophecy artwork was made by a master Persian calligrapher and brilliantly shimmers with sophistication and nuance. Finalmouse.
Congratulations.
Yeah. 33 grams they're saying, so add 3 grams to that because they don't know how to use a scale. 400 microsecond click latency, fiber composite chassis. Yeah, you can't argue. Finalmouse has industry-leading performance, that's for sure.
They do look sick. I'll never use one. I've actually never had a Finalmouse. Does that invalidate all my opinions? Maybe.
Really? Dang, yeah.
Just never wanted to spend on it.
Yeah, you're not missing out. I think in this day and age, you're not missing out. WLMouse does everything better.
That's what I've been told. So yeah.
Well, which color would you get if you won one in a giveaway? We got to go through and we have Tfue with a terrible signature. He's a gold and a really deep purple.
Tfue, yeah.
We have Scream with a red and gold Iron Man, even though this is different from Finalmouse Scream 1. This was his original mouse. I had one of these.
Kind of ugly.
Yep. So this is the same shape as remember the Darmoshark M3? Darmoshark M3 that's on sale on AliExpress for like $23 right now.
Yeah.
So remember Darmoshark and Motospeed, that X6 you have? Darmoshark is one of Motospeed's brands. Motospeed is an OEM. Motospeed was the OEM for Finalmouse with this. So these are the same shape pretty much. Yep. So Scream has now red and gold. Clicks, I don't know who Clicks is, but a really nice kind of Finalmouse
I think he
Zeus,
plays Fortnite. I don't know.
white and gold for a Fortnite boy. And then Tarek goes from his blue and white to now green and gold.
I'll say Tarek. Tifu, Tarek are the two in between.
I think I'm with you. I like those more unique.
That's why. I've seen red mice, I've seen white mice. So
Dude,
I mean,
if
I've
you
seen
had
green, but
green is one of the least common. I definitely don't have green's probably my least common color. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I am totally not gonna get one.
no, me either.
Why? Yeah.
Ever. No matter what. Unless it's handed to me.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, let's move away from Finalmouse. We'll come back to them later. How about Pulsar and their new
Pulsar
crazy
Crazylight?
light?
Or just kind of light, because it just weighs like the same as an ATK F1. So it's light.
Well, I think we have to check our privilege. Like,
Well, that's the standard now. This is
give.
crazy light for Pulsar.
Okay, if this is truly X2 size though, under 35 grams. Well, we don't know if the skates are taken off in this picture.
Yeah, what's the L7 I have right here? Hold up. This thing's tiny and light.
Okay.
41. So yeah.
And the X2 is going to be bigger.
Yeah, this L7's an X2 mini clone.
Yeah. So
it is. Yeah, it's impressive.
It is impressive.
Much as that joke.
Oh, hello, dog. You coming to say hi because you hear me talking? So I'm glad that they're getting on that because Pulsar, they have good shapes and they know it too. But they also know that they're a bit behind in terms of, having a 57-gram mouse that, well, this is the size one, but the full size is like 57 grams for the X2H, and it has holes in the bottom. And it has only a 300 milliamp hour battery, so it's a little bit dated. It's just this industry is moving so fast. But I want to see, do they have, I was looking at their Twitter, trying to find more information on the Crazy Light. We don't have a whole lot. They just have an empty product page on their website that has a picture of this blue one. And then I guess for 2025, they've sent this picture. We can actually see some holes in the bottom. Yeah. It looks like the holes are even bigger, kind of like how their Feynman is.
Scroll wheel texture looks satisfying.
It does.
I like that.
But I was also disappointed with the ULX, like Finalmouse ULX. The scroll wheel on these look nice and knurled, like that would be really grippy, and it's just not.
Yeah.
It's like way too smooth. Man, I put the garbage under. Okay. I'm just gonna I don't even care. She grabbed the tissue. I don't even care. Whatever, dude. Wait, let me see her. Yeah, there she is, going to town on a tissue. Did Pulsar have anything else on their Twitter? And I didn't find anything new, but I did find this on their banner. So we have the right-hand, left-hand 703s, the Feynman, and this weird fingertip thing. I feel like I've seen this before, dude. I feel like I've seen this somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Pulsar fingertip mouse. I can't type.
December 30th, they tweeted out a Pulsar mechanical, or a Pulsar switch. Like it's just a micro switch with Pulsar on it. For those of us who were logged into Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, so I know, like, Gloria's had their Kale GM 8.0s that they custom branded and stuff, and
yeah,
it'll be like a spring gram force tweak or whatever. It's usually not too revolutionary, though. The Pulsar Blue encoder, legitimately probably my favorite encoder. Okay, dog. Okay. Let's move on to another topic, and I'm going to have to tie up this bag. Let's move
unacceptable.
on to...
Speed over.
No. Darmoshark N7? Sure. Oh, wait, this... Just to show. Somebody did post this picture. This is where I saw it. Pulsar 2025. This guy posted it 4 months ago. Oh, I saw this on their X banner too. Okay. Okay. I guess maybe it was just an experimental thing that they haven't launched. It looks very unusable anyway. I don't know.
Dumb, perhaps. Yes.
Yeah, maybe they're just watching the market, seeing that it's not really taking off. Even though like G-Wolves has had good success with it, but I think they're one of the only ones. Okay. Speaking of more traditional mouse shapes, Darmoshark N7 shape looks interesting.
This thing has the hump of the century.
Yeah,
And some pretty high
really.
side buttons.
Yeah. So people. This is
Ooh,
the
that scroll
only
wheel looks
picture.
big.
Or the mouse is small.
Could be.
I'm thinking mouse is small because the USB port seems pretty big here.
Looks like a tire tread pattern. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how Darmoshark does all of their scroll wheels.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You're not kidding. Okay.
So Ergo Hump, yep, is the top comment, and I think somebody said ZA13, and I gotta disagree. This looks more like an Ergo to me than an Ambi.
I agree. I think the thumb groove is too large on the left-hand side to be ambi unless they're going for it.
And buttons too. Yeah.
Ergos
Yeah.
always have high side buttons. That's pretty like telltale.
This yellow is really nice. If this looks more like a rendering though, not an actual photo. I don't know. It's tough to tell. Like the logo looks a little bit fake. The side buttons look real. I think this is just a high quality
Looks like a
rendering.
reflection. Yeah.
If that yellow is true, that's a really nice vibrant yellow. And then I think I did an image translate, and we gotta not use Google Image. We gotta use Yandex. If I just paste this English, Japanese to English. Made for gaming, operation at its peak.
To the fungus to inherit the classic and become a butterfly. Okay.
Darmoshark. Dummy shark. I'm pretty pumped for this. I like my budget mouse releases. Too bad Darmoshark hasn't embraced optical switches.
Yeah.
Their newer coatings, though, seem pretty good. I do have their N5, which is a shockingly good mouse for the price that has like really gone under the radar. It has good quality skates. It has good side buttons, good main buttons. The coating is like the same as Waizowl's, maybe a little bit better. Shape doesn't quite hit for me. It's just a little bit too like ball-like. But I respect them. They tried a different shape and they executed it pretty well. And this thing can be had for like under $40 and it's solid. So more of that, please, Darmoshark. Any other mice releases? I think we'll jump into mouse pads now. So Scyrox Kumo, this first Scyrox pad, this just randomly popped up when I was browsing AliExpress. So I don't know anything about it other than what we're gonna read here on the AliExpress page.
Surface is exquisite. Did you not read the title? Oh my gosh.
Oh, son of a gun.
Slim Flex is possibly the stupidest name ever that the branded Poron now is. That gets me every time.
It sounds like a condom
It's
brand.
not Slim Fast. It does.
Slim Jim. Scyrox Kumo. I wish
Bowflex or whatever.
Yeah, Bowflex Home Gym. I wonder if I can find like an English version. Okay, this one has some close-up pictures. Oh, here we go. Yes, they are translated. Inui Slim Flex Primer.
High static, low dynamic. Is that what that's saying? Scroll up a little bit.
Scroll up.
High start, low glide. I think is what it said under the graphic there.
Oh, in the
text toward the top. High start, low slide is probably high static, low dynamic. Kind of like notes.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, special surface. High start, low slip. Okay.
Follow the heart and control tightly woven.
Sunken edge.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, the close-up pictures could be better, but at least they sort of give. I don't know. Hard to tell if that's going to be good.
It looks kind of like an X-ray pad up close. They have a very certain texture, I feel like.
Typical size of 490 by 420, which I don't know if you know this. AliExpress pads are commonly that size because of international shipping or something. Something about the box size. That's why 500 by 500 pads are so expensive on AliExpress.
Or like X-ray pad. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
The logo coloration looks kind of, I don't like it. Like rainbow weirdness they have going on there.
So they're saying it's a soft hardness out of like a score of 6 to
On
20.
a scale of 6 to 20, it's an 11.
Well, if Lamzu the parent company, Lamzu has the Energon's a fantastic pad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe they've carried some of that know-how over. I don't know. Someone be a guinea pig and post a comment. $40.
Scyrox only clones things, right? So what mouse pad did this clone is the real question.
Yeah, true. Okay, how about another pad from a company that has not done pads before? Santali Kosmo. So
$30. Wow.
yeah, pretty good price. So Santali, if you guys haven't heard of them, they have the Agaz S10. This is actually a phenomenal mouse. It feels like it's polycarbonate like a Sora. Omron Opticals. It's actually a very nice mouse. The side buttons are a little bit farther forward. It has a nice hourglass shape. I absolutely love mine. Unique colorway. Build quality could be better. Like it's a little flimsy feeling, but anyway, here they are coming out with pads. They have the Cosmo cloth pad, which is here is their pad sizes or pad types, I guess they're coming out with. Chaos, Chimera, and Cosmo. Chaos is a speed pad, Chimera is a hybrid, Cosmo is a control. They are all soft bases, all 490 by 420 by 3.7 millimeters thick. So Santali, I think they're an Indian company. The name Santali, I think, is like a dialect of Hindi or something. And they have different logos for each of them. I kind of like it when companies do different. Dog, get off of my. Go take a nap, dude. Anyway, I'm not like super interested in these pads. They're 490 by 420, so I'm already like nah. But Santali, like their mouse, the S10 for being like their only product, it's a unique shape, and it's pretty good. I wouldn't spend $85 on it, but I would take it over a Viper V3 Pro. I just really like the shape.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So I guess they're limited. They're $30 right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna be picking one up, even if it was free shipping. Okay, and back to Finalmouse with their final pad. Yep, 292 upvotes.
Finally made a pad.
Finalmouse announces Horizon glass core hard fabric mouse pad.
Looks like they placed their roof shingle on a piece of glass.
Yeah, so forget having a firm base. How about having a solid base? So this is going to feel rather interesting. We'll get to some of the hater comments, which I think are only partially founded. But this is probably going to feel very... I think it's going to feel more unique than what people think. Because that cloth surface seems so thin. So even if this was a moderately fast cloth surface like a Heian, this is going to feel insanely fast because there's going to be zero sink in.
Yeah.
And then if this is a very controlled surface, I think it could end up feeling kind of unique because we haven't really seen a controlled pad that's this firm. Yeah. But we should find out why is it that we're going to hate on it, and that's probably because of the price tag. Did they say anything about pricing?
I thought they did, but I don't recall what it was. If they didn't, it's going to be a lot. $130.
$129. Yeah, that's what I...
For cloth.
Oh, it's in the friggin' title. Wait, it's in the title of this one. Yeah. So, first glass core hard fabric gaming mouse pad, perfectly flat, perfectly consistent for the most demanding aimers. 3 millimeters thick, 490 by 420, and they have a cute little exposed edge to show that it's glass. Engineered technical fabric from Toray, Japan.
I just don't believe that the perfectly consistent will last for the life of the pad. It's cloth, and I'm not paying $130 for cloth unless it's legitimately going to be consistent forever.
Yeah.
Like a glass pad. So
I do respect Finalmouse for doing something different, but of course they go above and beyond and they just get extra with it. Like, dude, why are there not more hard pads plastic pads like the NPET Speed M.
Because they can't make as much money on them.
Right. Like the NPET Speed M, it's like a super dense rubber base, and then it's a super thin plastic, like a hard shell, like what a phone case is made out of. And you don't have the humidity sticking arm that you get with glass because it's cold.
Right.
But you still get the speed of a hard. I don't know why there aren't more plastic pads. Why aren't there more plastic pads?
All I've got's what I said. I don't know. It's not sexy.
Yeah, this is, I guess,
Oh, it is.
sexy. I don't know. Finalmouse.
It looks cool. I'm very interested to see what people say about it, but
I am too. Yeah, I am. It's one of those things where Finalmouse kind of throws an innovation out there, and there's an initial reaction of, this is stupid. Why would anyone want this? And then certain companies will take that idea, or they'll take bits and pieces of it and run with it. So maybe now we start seeing, instead of X-Soft soft mid, now we start seeing hard bases. Maybe now we
it'll
start.
sell out.
It'll sell out. Yeah. Are they doing a launch like a limited drop like they always do?
That I'm not sure of, but I would guess so.
Even the people in the Finalmouse Discord are pooping on it. Discord. Got to be the dumbest mouse pad of the last decade. Yeah.
My initial reaction wasn't that it was that dumb.
Yeah.
It wasn't positive.
Like, if you evaluate it as a glass pad, you'd be like, oh, it's a slightly more expensive glass pad, but that's because they put fabric over it. Okay. But the fact that it's technically a cloth pad, it just seems stupid.
Yeah.
But again, Finalmouse, they're 50% a mouse company, 50% a marketing company. So could they have gone with a cheaper substrate that's just as hard? Yeah. But this is how they charge $129 for a pad.
Exactly.
Okay. I wonder what the rubber base is. I hope it's not just the little dots, that you can get from like the hardware store.
I think I might just get the final pad at home.
Oh, I didn't see this. Thank you. Final pad at home. So, homie here took a Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn and put it on top of a Super Glide. Hell yeah. And how many please tell me this got a bunch of upvotes. 398 upvotes versus the Finalmouse like 290. Freethinker over here. Yeah, the final. Have you ever been on their Discord?
No, I haven't.
You're missing out, dude. It's very, how they are, how their diction is, free thinkers and we're the greatest. Yeah, that's exactly it. But a lot of the people on the Discord don't talk that way. Most of the people on Discord are just like needy and thirsty. Oh, give me the new roll. Look at my collection.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Okay, patent pending. Okay, I'm going to rapid fire some mouse releases I saw on AliExpress. Vancer Groove XG1. It's just a groove with a pink and blue colorway. Neato burrito. Amber 35.8. Never heard of this company. I posted these to Mouse Review, and it actually got some traction. So 38.5 is its weight. It's this small ambi. The buttons come kind of far back, which is, I guess, sort of unique. I don't know. I'm not super interested for $50. If it was $30, maybe. But it's...
Is it an X2? What is it?
It's kind of tough to tell from the pictures. It's almost like seems flatter.
No, it's not. Yeah, it does.
Slight thumb comfort grooves. It looks cheap. Am I bad to say that?
No, it does. It looks crappy.
But it does have a TTC gold wheel.
It's the sheen of the plastic, I think, is why it looks...
Maybe.
On the black one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Also, just the fact that everything's the same color, but then not totally perfectly color matched.
Got the pill side buttons.
Mm-hmm. Very generic looking. 3395 sensor. Length is a little bit shorter. 115 by 60 by 38.5, a little bit taller.
115 is an X2 mini length.
Yeah, okay. 250 milliamp hour battery.
60 and 38.5.
Yeah. Okay. So this thing is called the Amber 35.8, but then the weight they say 35.8 plus or minus 3 grams. Imagine naming a product over after a spec that you can't even maintain.
So this is like 1 millimeter shorter than an X2 Mini, 1 millimeter wider, and 1.5 millimeters taller.
Okay. Yeah. The sides seem pretty flat like an X2. Maybe a
not
little
bad
bit of
shape.
flare.
This is probably pretty usable, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a smaller GPX, kind of like a taller MCHO's A5.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a cardinal sin though with remember sig figs, significant figures from like high school chemistry or physics or whatever? Yeah, this is a sin. You have to the 10th on your main weight, but then your tolerance is to the holes. Yeah.
Can't buy this mouse.
Literally unusable. Another mouse worth mentioning, mostly because mine is lost in the mail and I should have had it like 2 weeks ago. Ugh. This Dareu A950air. Very impressive, 34.7 gram weight. The Dareu A950 shape is basically like a Finalmouse large. The A950air is like a Finalmouse medium. It's actually a very nice shape. Here's another one that I randomly found, the WOOKING Famous S1. I know nothing about this.
Sounds like WOOKING.
WOOKING. WOOKING is WOOKING Famous.
Mouse.
It's wow.
It's 3 mode. Fun story. I tried to give someone advice on mouse review, and then I realized they wanted Bluetooth on it, and I just stopped responding because all of my suggestions didn't have Bluetooth anyway.
Yeah, I don't. If you use a 60 hertz monitor at work and you just want to be able to have ball-in battery life, then I guess so. Yeah. All right, back to the WOOKING mouse. 600 milliamp hour battery, so that's a fat like 12 gram battery. Yeah. This looks a lot like the Santali shape that I have, but the side buttons are different. The side buttons on this look the same as the GMO3 or whatever the heck this mouse is. Whatever. This is the one with the charging dock. Yeah, those side buttons.
Click height is comically low. What is that?
Yeah, you can look it up. It's called like the LTC GM022. It's on Amazon. This was a Vine review unit. If you want to borrow it, you can definitely borrow it. Anyway, 3950 sensor. This is using some new switches I haven't seen before.
Yeah,
120 million click life. So I guess we're just increasing numbers for reasons. Skates, the size looks good. I don't know why they're so yellow. These pictures are also just crappy though. They talk about it has a coating. Anyway, this is one that, like, again, if this was $30, I would try it, but not for $60 some. But I do like that it's a longer, more narrow looking shape. I wish the side buttons weren't so far back. And the last one I have here is a Ugreen mouse. Pretty uninspiring, but hey, Ugreen is now getting into the space. Of course, they don't like totally know how to make a mouse, so it's like 63 grams with these waffled sides.
DPI button, yeah.
Yeah, but
it's like 5 years old.
Yeah,
design.
But 3950, so they're in 2023 right now, I guess. That was all I had for mouse releases, though. Yeah, any of those pique your interest?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, Dareu A950air. I'd try that.
Yeah. Well, maybe I might order a second one. I don't know. I do really want one, though. Okay. Okay, I think that's it for the news. We are an hour in. Let's move over to, like, some mouse
Welcome
topics.
To MouseCast After Dark.
Yeah, we got to call it something different, though. We gotta be unique, not copy the Wayne show. MouseCast.
Oh, is that what they do? I think it's just a common thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I called ours personal ramblings, but this isn't quite personal ramblings yet. Anyway, here's a post I made that actually got some upvotes, so why not? PSA.
This is you. Oh.
Yeah, lithium leaks smell like bubble gum. You know what's funny? I actually posted this, but I made bubblegum one word, and I was like, oh, I don't want to look like an idiot, so I quickly delete it, repost it. Didn't check it until I had notifications, and I'm like, bubble gun. Well, I'm smart. Luckily, only one person latched on to that, but Yeah,
Oh,
so
I see.
this is one of the 125 milliamp hour batteries I swap, and these only weigh like 2.5 grams. So this is like what's in the MCHO's. Um, yeah,
M7
careful.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, careful if it starts smelling like bubble gum. So I don't know how. I guess I set it down on something sharp. This was not a
Smells
spicy.
good.
Yeah, this was not a spicy pillow. Okay, so if you guys know lithium-ion batteries, find videos online of them stabbing it with a knife, and the thing explodes spectacularly. I mean, look at the car fires, and those cars, the battery packs in those have a lot of safeguards behind them. But yeah, lithium-ion batteries are. We're gonna look back at these in 10 years and be like, why did we use these batteries?
It was the Samsung Note 8 that had the exploding batteries, right?
Yeah, in like people's
Pretty
pockets
sure.
or whatever. Yeah.
I had one and I had to like swap it out for the yeah. So
Yep. So yeah, basically, these batteries are like various layers of anodes and cathodes or whatever. And if you know stab it or whatever, then it breaches. Then they basically it creates a short, and they release all their energy and spectacular flames and stuff. Anyway, so this was not that. This was not a spicy pillow. So the spicy pillows is when you have like an internal break, and it inflates because it swells due to, I think it's the lithium gas. Anyway, this was an external break, so it did not balloon up, but I could smell it. I'm sitting there soldering, and I smell bubble gum. More specifically, my wife commented because I let her smell it too. When you go to the dentist and they do the tooth polishing, you know, with the tool, and you can pick your
mhm.
flavor, and you know, when you're a kid, you pick the bubble gum or whatever. That is exactly what this smells like. And I had to
That's
Google it
disturbing.
because the mouse worked fine. I powered on, it charged, it seemed fine. But I Google, yeah, lithium smells like bubble gum. First result, yep, that's what lithium gas smells like.
Huh.
Straight up bubblegum. So now I have this battery sitting in a metal container until I can properly dispose of it in case it does decide to short and explode.
Pull out a couple times a day and just give it a little whiff. Yeah.
Dude, it is, I'm not kidding, it is a sweet, sugary bubblegum smell. It is, yeah, it's pungent. Yeah. So that makes me wonder, like, you know, how do you synthesize bubblegum flavor, you know? Are we eating lithium? Because apparently lithium is ingestible. Um, um,
Oh,
Antidepressant meds or bipolar. Anyway, people on the bipolar subreddit apparently take lithium.
oh,
Yeah.
who knew?
All right. Ferrari Mouse. I don't. I saw this thing can't come out a while back, so. But I guess this is making its rounds again.
Pancake mouse.
Yeah. AJA's M259 Magnalium.
What?
33.95 wireless mice on sale for $55. Dust collector. Well, the top comment says. Oh, here somebody compares it to a Testarossa. Ferrari
It's funny.
Testarossa. Yeah, 80s. That was like early 90s, late 80s, right? I don't know.
Not sure. Jeezy likes him. Mentions him in his songs a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, this came out a while back, and it's kind of a unique way to build a mouse. Like, instead of having like a plastic mold, you just have plates of like metal. Um, it's just weird that it actually has a 3395.
You're right.
I don't know. It's one of those things from us as gamers who see the word 3395 and we think it's enthusiast. We think this is stupid. But there's people out there who like are normies and like want to buy one of those Gravistar Mercury mice, or you know, just something that fits their setup. And so if they are some graphic designer and they think it's the coolest thing, they're going to buy it. And the thing is, 3395s are like the whole only reason they're not just in every mice because they're super power efficient. I mean, there are more power efficient ones. They're super power efficient and they're high performance. The thing is, they're high cost though. They're like $7-ish, like $5 to $8, I think, just to buy one if you're a manufacturer. So, yeah, if you're selling a $20 mouse, spending $8 on a chip makes no sense. But let's say
Yeah.
you already have a top tier um, steel mouse that you already know you're going to spend $100 on. Now it's starting to make more sense to put in a high-end chip so that you can have, you know, top specs for, you know, marketing purposes, I guess. So I don't think it's that wild that this has a high-end sensor, but it is a little bit wild that MetKeys carries it because they're like an enthusiast distributor.
Yeah, I'd never seen this before, which is why I kind of added it as a topic. But
Is it on M259A Jazz? I think they're on AliExpress.
there you go.
Yeah, brother. Dude, review it.
Comically cheap prices.
Wait, is it an Ergo? Oh, I didn't know it was an Ergo.
Oh, wow.
Dude, that's actually not a bad. The bottom profile, actually not that bad. Seems nice and narrow. 64 grams, bro. It's usable.
It's usable.
It's usable. 350 milliamp hour battery. Huano transparent blue shell pink dots. Bro, it's usable.
AGS M259. I will consider it. I'm not going to lie.
Reach out to AJS, dude. Try to get a review unit. That scroll wheel, though, is so narrow. What are we looking at? Why did they...
Oh my god.
Why the egg?
Egg.
Yeah, Testarossa, yeah. Inspired by the magnesium aluminum alloy. Oh, that's why they call it magnalium. Maybe magnalium is actually a word. Magnalium. Yep, magnalium is an alloy of aluminum and magnesium. So for you guys who don't know, I worked on high pressure die casting for a bit. That was mainly aluminum and magnesium, but I had never heard this term. Magnesium is very lightweight. Its density is like 1.7 grams per cubic centimeter. It's very, very lightweight. Lighter than aluminum, less dense than aluminum. So like your laptops, you know how like high-end laptops nowadays all have like, they're trying to be super lightweight and stuff. You ever open up a laptop and you got to like undo the clamshell, and that piece, that metal piece that you pop off with all the screws, you know, it's huge, but it's really light. Those are almost always magnesium.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It'll be like 30-40% lighter than aluminum probably. Okay. Have anything else? Interesting. They have it here, but they don't talk about it. They have a Darmoshark M2. That is a mouse that is just, it was released in 2024 and nobody cared about. Viper Mini SE. Sorry, I'm kind of fascinated by this now. They like market it. They like have dimensions as if this is for like actual enthusiasts. Bro.
I want to feel the click implementation. I'm very curious.
Yeah. AJ's trying something different. All right. All right.
That 1K hertz though, unusable. Never mind.
Okay, sorry. Is this video anything good? No.
I was so confused what the hell that sound was.
The side profile is pretty wild though. All right. Okay. Next topic. Paid promos for mid to bad mice. Why do journalists keep promoting stuff like this? And it's a glorious Series 2 Pro being promoted by XDA. That's like a developer forum, right?
I believe so. I don't know why they're promoting stuff. It kind of explains it a little bit.
Upgrade to the best lightweight gaming mouse you can buy as it drops to an all-time low. Bro, glorious stuff does not retain its resale. I saw a Model D2 Pro. So I guess it was only the 1K. It was missing its dongle, but it was on eBay for $16.99 wireless.
Wow.
Again, missing dongle. But
that's expensive for a glorious mouse.
Yeah. I think I'm not a glorious hater like the rest of r/mouse review, but yeah, if you're spending $130 on this, you need to have a friend who can tell you, like, give you a better recommendation.
Honestly, if you're spending $92 on this,
yeah,
you probably it's still the same. Yeah,
I would put like the glorious Series 1 or Series 2 Pro. I'd put that at the same level as like a Darmoshark.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And even then, that most recent Darmoshark, the X6, the Moto Speed one, I would say that's better than this.
Yep.
But
yeah, on the side here, I actually had someone reach out to work with me from. I'll go ahead and talk about that.
Oh no, this is
okay. yeah, to work with me potentially as like giving me a review unit, which is cool. That's the first person to reach out. It was for a mouse that wasn't really enthusiast though. It was like over 100 grams at a really low tier sensor. And like, I just thought, I don't want to review this. I don't want to promote this if it's not like on brand. So that just kind of made me think of this as well. Like, let's not be disingenuous.
Yeah.
But don't tell XDA. Unless they just have really bad opinions, which is possible.
Yeah. I mean, Glorious, they have like solid performance, and
yeah, I don't hate their mice. Yeah.
They really revolutionized they made the honeycomb cutouts mainstream, which brought attention to lightweight mice. They were, as far as I know, they were one of the first to use the PCB as sidewall support. They did that with the original Model D, the wired one. And they have decent performance according to Tech Power Up, so I'm not a huge hater, but yeah, they've also have just been regurgitating the same design since like 2021. The Forge was their attempt at like a group buy thing, but then they're just getting smashed by all these cheap competitors out of China that can make a better mouse for a third the price. So I don't know. Yeah, paid ads. I don't know, Glorious. The thing is, they're a mainstream brand. They're available. You can walk into a Best Buy and buy them. You can't walk into a Best Buy and buy a Darmoshark. But still,
Jazz. Yeah.
Right. But you know, or like even more premium, but like Lamzu, Sprime, yeah. Still better than Corsair though, I guess.
They have not made a serious mouse in a while.
No. I do like the N75 Air, but anyway. Yeah. I wouldn't do I don't know. I guess to like summarize my take on promoting products that like aren't the best, the thing is they still are 80% of the way there. If you are kind of a normie shopping for a mouse and you're trying to get into aim training or competitive FPS, then it has a high-end sensor. It's lightweight. It has good sensor performance from Tech Power Up, from PiezoGel, so I trust it. The only real downsides are price and build quality. Build quality, right. They do have a decent warranty. I've had good luck with warranty support once before. They sent me a unit back out without like hesitating. And build quality, like quite frankly, unless you're throwing your mouse against the wall, I know Glorious, they're famous for having their like switch grinding because the buttons like to rub. As you press down, they like rub on the dots of the micro switches and it gives a grinding feel, and that feels like crap. If you're a normie, I don't think you care too much about that. So I personally am like, I don't like that this dude's just taking a bag of money to probably promote something he doesn't fully understand, but at the same time, it could be worse. So I guess I'm kind of middle of the road on it.
I don't hate Glorious as a company. I actually kind of like them as a company, specifically when they first started out. I really enjoyed their mice, and I've got their wrist rests everywhere. But yeah, I wish they would get with the times a little bit.
Yeah, whatever happened, remember they were spelling out Odin, the Model O, the Model D, the Model I.
When's the N coming?
Where's the Model N?
It's going to blow our minds. It's going to make Finalmouse look like a meme. Well, they can do that themselves.
I think they've just seen that their mice have fallen off a cliff. They sold super well with like the original. There's still people who like go into Micro Center and buy a Model D wired.
It's my friend's main mouse. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it works fine.
But
I like their glossy mice coating.
I know. Why aren't there more glossy mice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Those of us with dry hands, cold hands.
Okay. So I see your note about skipping the infic. You don't want to talk. You don't want to at least even see the infic, or is it kind of too early to talk about?
Yeah, we can take a look at it. But
okay.
Like, yeah, they reached out. I'm gonna get a couple mice from them, I believe, in their next like promotion cycle next quarter. It's not right away, but they're coming.
Okay. Are we?
At
Well,
first,
are
I
we?
wasn't sure how serious they were, but like it looks like they do some later, 33.95 mice. So
Okay.
it'll be cool to take a look at those. But they also have a lot of like maybe office budget kind of more chill designs that aren't super enthusiasts. So
Yeah. Okay. So these are the three here that actually use decent sensors. They have that kind of Gundam aesthetic to them. So I've seen this one before on Amazon. Let's see if I can find it
on
on.
Vine or
I think just straight up on Amazon.
okay,
Maybe not. Okay, well, this shell I have definitely seen before. It's basically like a GPX X3 kind of a shell. Haven't used one personally, but pretty Oh wait, no, this one has come to Vine. Yeah, no, I definitely have seen this one.
okay.
I just
See,
didn't get it.
I have no idea how all this works. Like, so they reached out about the IN9, which is already available on Amazon with reviews, but like to give it a review. So I don't know how this works. I guess companies still reach out about existing products just to get more eyes on it potentially and get some sales. But you can get this today, so
Yeah.
I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
And I saw the email. I was like, "This is exciting."
It is exciting. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I personally think it might just be kind of a waste of time unless you did like a roundup with it, because it's a 3325 most likely with a 10,000 DPI sensor. So the wireless performance also probably isn't going to be super high end. It's probably going to be a little bit heavy. Oh, they straight up say, yeah, 3325 here. It's RGB. You know, it's just not exactly designed for enthusiasts. But it still is exciting to get that kind of recognition.
Yep. So I passed on this one, but we'll take a look at some other mice maybe coming up.
So of these three, you were most interested in the IN10P?
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're pushing that one next quarter. It's IN6 is one of them. But yeah, this one looked like the most promising potentially.
Okay.
Up to 8K, 3395. Not sure about the MCU, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I think I mentioned the MCU. Where did I have that?
K9, KP950B up there in the
Yep.
first blurb, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as they like write their firmware good, which we don't know how they do, but then if performance doesn't really matter, as long as it's written well. What it'll impact is battery life. Your sensor and your MCU are your two biggest sinks. But
Based
they're
on
using
the RGB in this, they could probably drop out. Oh, green shell white dot.
Yeah, green shell. What about RGB? Oh yeah, and the little.
If they dropped it out, the weight would be even more competitive than like the 60 grams. I think this is listed as. So.
You'd be surprised. Some companies have gotten really good at making the RGB like they'll do like one little LED way the heck up, and it's just the weight of like an LED with little thin connections.
Nice.
Yeah. So the actual one, the IN6, is
It's interesting how cheap the retail price on this is. I'm not sure what the 3395 DMT6QU, like what version of the 3395, what that means. But
that's just the standard one. So if you
look up, name.
Yeah, the
full
name. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Okay. Anything else you wanted to? Any like personal thoughts on? Do you want people to weigh in if you should be reviewing these? Like, I threw out that Dazz, you should do like a batch style, because I don't think people are necessarily going to search for the Infic IN6. But what you could do is say, title, thumbnail, something like, "Look at these Gundam. Are Gundam mice any good?" I don't know, something like that. And then you have some stupid thumbnail with one of the Gundam robots next to one of these mice. And then you have timestamps with each of the model numbers so that people who are searching for product reviews still searchable.
Yeah, that's why I kind of took the middle ground of turning down the first offered mouse, but then like exploring further, like you suggest, to see if they had any more like potentially lightweight competitive mice with good sensors. So we'll see where it goes. And yeah, I like that idea of like a batch review. It's not going to be making a review to get views or anything. It's just going to be like to go through the process of working with a company and testing their product and everything. So
yeah, it would be interesting if you do end up getting these. I know the software that like PiezoGel uses for all those like plot curves and stuff, that is downloadable from GitHub or whatever. I would say like it might be a lot of work to make graphs and stuff, but at least downloading the software and playing with it would be interesting because then we would have a better idea. They're likely using the same firmware for like all three mice. Like whatever MCU sensor, the same. It'd be good to validate that, but here I am being a choosing beggar. I haven't reviewed a mouse in ages, so. All right, well, let's talk about, you have some other mice you have in the pipeline to review, right?
Yep, mentioned these are on my desk. There's the MCHO's L7 here, which is kind of like the darling budget mouse of the week, the flavor of the month. Everybody gave it rave reviews. Mine's unfortunately white, and I got the Pro. I was wrong about that last episode. I'm going to go head-to-head with the Madar and what I think the best budget X2 clone is, I guess, right now. This is a mini. The Madar is more of like a X2 standard size, maybe like a 1.75 or something.
A bit longer even. Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're both very good. I am still unsure which one I like better, actually. So I need to figure that out before I make the video. But one thing I've noticed is MCHO's most recent Omron implementations are very light. A little less tactile than I prefer. And then I also, the M7 here is the U2 almost a clone that you lent me, and that review is going to go live tomorrow morning. Testing on a new time to go live and see if that affects views. But this mouse is very good. I had a great time with it.
Yeah, I'm bummed they came out with an orange color after I got the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, unique shape though.
It is. I mean, the review's dropping before this. The M7 is just a little bit bigger in every way, and that fits my preferences. So, and then, I mean, Omron's. I was surprisingly not positive about the U2, even though I like the U2 as a mouse. I just prefer the M7. A7 is a mouse that I have in GPX clone. I'm going to do a GPX roundup. People have spoken in that poll.
Nice. Yeah, Boardsy mentioned this and said this was the closest in shape to a true GPX. But again,
Boardsy made that like mice I haven't reviewed video and like stole a little bit of my thunder, as if I have like that much of a voice in it. But anyway, like it's like, no, don't mention the mice people haven't reviewed that I want to review.
If the pink is this vibrant, dude, I really like that.
Yeah, I got the blue, unfortunately. That pink is awesome looking.
Omron Opticals, baby.
I also like have learned a little bit of how like Boardsy like will review a mouse and be like, this is good, but I'm never going to touch it again. Like I got the Inkai G23 in over a week ago and I haven't even unboxed it because it's not the current review I'm working on, so I don't care. Like,
so you get it.
The mentality is totally different. Like, yeah, I like reviewed the one mouse that I did last week. I'm like, haven't touched it since. Haven't thought about it once. Like, moved on.
Yeah, I know. I've had to chillax with some of my purchases. Like, for example, Deluxe M500, which is like a Lamzu Thorn.
Yeah.
Literally haven't used it because I have a Thorn. So, like, why would I?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this is my G23. Like,
oh, still in the Amazon box, even.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any other mouse topics we want to talk about before going into personal ramblings, which I only have one topic for anyway?
We can transition to personal ramblings.
Yeah.
Actually, about work that listens or that like links directly to what I was talking about. We'll see how much time I have to do reviews because my position at work is changing into a people leader role. So I'll now be managing a decent handful of people. And I just don't know. I maybe need to go in the office more as well. So we'll see if I have even time because my standard review filming and editing time is like 10:30 to 1 a.m. And like if I'm commuting, that's sleep time. So
yeah, that's
we'll see if Dazz falls off.
Yeah. Huh. Is this a position that you wanted?
Yeah, we talked about it before. Actually, that was my idea was to get out of development and move into more of like a management role. And then this happened to pop up out of the blue, and I was considered, so I just kind of followed through. There are obvious downsides going into the office more, just having a ton more responsibility, but it's the path I've thought about long and hard and wanted to go down. So
yeah, maybe an unpopular opinion. I like being in the office. Of course, I would love to not have to commute and be able to if I have like a CFD analysis that's converging still, that I can like go make myself some soup or something. But or I have to go home at lunch and let the dog out. That's really inconvenient. If you have like little kids like you do too, then being home is great for that. But like when it comes to like actually working, I would much rather be in an office where I can run things by other people and not have to send them a Teams message or call them on Teams, and it's just another barrier versus face to face.
I
Yeah.
get that. As more of an introvert and also someone who has like a medical exception for not going into the office, my
Mhm.
life quality is much higher when I'm not going in. Sleep is better, more family interaction.
Sure. Did they say how often
But
you'd have to go in?
very much up in the air, but up to 4 days a week as opposed to one, which would be a vast change. And I drive 30 plus minutes one way, so
Oh,
not
that
quite.
bites. Yeah,
Yeah.
that bites. Okay. I have a personal topic that I just got from another podcast. Have you ever called 911 or pulled the fire alarm before? Okay, so I guess I could talk about work stuff too. So I was on a plane back from a Mercedes plant in Alabama that I was visiting that I could talk about a little bit. Anyway,
How was that?
I
Yeah.
started, okay, sure. So the company I work for builds paint shops for automakers. So to build a car, you usually have three buildings that are all joined together. We have a body shop where they weld all the sheet metal panels, together in the structure, and then that body will literally be put on a conveyor, and that conveyor goes to the next building, which is the paint shop, where it gets cleaned, painted with like 5 different coats of paint, more or less. And then same conveyor continues taking the car to general assembly where they install headlights, they fill the fuel tank, they install the windshield, all that stuff. So my company builds the paint shops. So I was at a Mercedes-Benz plant. You can look it up, MBUSI, Embussy, out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yep.
Okay.
So this facility, they do a few different chassis for Mercedes, but it's a huge. I mean, it's an absolutely massive plant. Like when we park and we get through security, it's probably about according to my watch, about 2,000 steps for me to get
wow.
to the meeting room that we kind of set up our home base in. These plants are absolutely massive. They take up like literally a square mile.
Oh, it's huge on this aerial view here. Aerial view here. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So they were having an issue. I think I can talk publicly about this. Well, whatever. So they've had an issue with what's called paint carryout. So think about this: when you have working in manufacturing and like engineering, right? It's so fun because you can see consumer products or whatever, and you have kind of X-ray vision glasses of like, oh yeah, these are shit because of this reason, or oh, these ones over here, these is actually really expensive. How they do that? This is great. So Mercedes, they have an issue with paint carryout. Basically, when a car body is traveling, automotive paint booth. Sure. Yeah. So, okay, here's a perfect picture. Is a competitor to my company's. So yeah, here's what an automotive paint booth looks like. So this will be a continuous conveyor. This is literally thousands of feet long, okay? And they do different coats and stuff, and you have robots that apply the paint, and you'll have people on the outside who are like the robot programmers, operators, maintenance personnel, etc. So paint is sprayed onto the car, but not all of the paint is captured on the car. It's usually only about like a 75% transfer efficiency. The remaining 25% goes down through the floor. The floor is a bunch of grating, and there's usually like a big old air plenum down here with a bunch of water. So that paint falls down through the grating and it lands in water. And that water is pumped out to a filter system that I won't get super into, but point is their water filter system was not working. And again, this is a mixture of, you have air, that's because it's a booth, right? You always have like air coming down so that the paint always goes down. You're not clouding, right? So you have air that's always going down, and then you have water that's always being recirculated. Well, you need the water to capture all the paint that's floating around in the air. They weren't. Well, actually, what they weren't having is the water was capturing the paint, but the water was splashing a lot, and that was kicking it back up into the air.
Mm-hmm.
What this led to is, looking at that Google Maps view, you see all those exhaust stacks on the top?
Yep.
Well, that airstream with all those water and paint particles were going up the exhaust stacks, out the exhaust stacks, floating across the parking lot and landing on finished assembled Mercedes-Benz vehicles.
Ooh.
So they were having to tarp them and all this stuff. This has been a problem since 1997 at their plant.
What?
It was originally, again, this filter system, these are multi-million-dollar projects. Like the paint shop is probably a $300 million building. Yeah, so changing this is not an easy feat. So we were the third independent company that they had come in to evaluate and try to find a Band-Aid solution. Long story short, I'm going to be writing up the report. Long story short, they need a different filter system, but that's probably going to be like a $20 million expense. So that's probably not going to happen. So we're going to recommend some Band-Aids, but none of the Band-Aids are going to be 100%. So that's what I was doing in Alabama. But on my ride back home, I listened in the plane ride home. I listened to, where was this? I was listening to, you ever watch Ned's Declassified?
Actually haven't, no.
Okay.
Maybe in passing at my grandparents on cable when I was younger. But...
Okay. Yeah, it's like a millennial show. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. The three main actors from the show on Nickelodeon made a podcast, and it's actually pretty entertaining. They're kind of immature, but they're funny. They had one topic that was like, have you ever pulled a fire alarm or had to call 911? And they had some good stories. So I was going to ask you, Dazz, because I have a story too. Have you ever had to call 911 or pull the fire alarm?
I actually haven't. I've had 911 called for me once when I was in a car accident as all, really. So.
Oh, damn. Were you young?
But yeah. I was junior in college. Internship first week. New car, 1 week old.
Oh, dang, really?
Totaled, yeah.
What kind of car?
2005 Ford Focus Silver.
Yep, I test drove one of these bad boys. Was it your fault?
I took fault in the accident and then realized later it probably was not my fault.
Oh.
I turned through the intersection, but the dude had to be going 20 plus over.
Okay.
To have hit me that quickly, and that was determined by other people as well. But yeah.
Dang. So were you were you hospitalized?
I did do the ambulance ride because I'm like get nervous about that stuff. They told me I could have walked out of there just to see if there wasn't internal bleeding, but like I had seatbelt mark like across my chest and across my waist, just like really bad bruising, and took a few days off work. But...
Dang, that sucks.
It wasn't the sedan, it was the other.
The hatch.
The hatch, yeah. Yep, there it is.
Dang.
Fun to drive. Replaced it with a Cherokee. Not as fun to drive.
Yeah.
Gas goes there.
Yeah.
Upside down. Made my first car payment too high. Anyway. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've never been in a car accident. I've never been a little brat and pulled a fire alarm. You know, you do have like the intrusive thought when you're like in elementary school. You're like, but of course, you're like, you're not going to do that. You'll get suspended. I did have to call 911 once. Was that the only time? I feel like I've had to call it a couple times, but the one time that at least I can speak to was I played Ultimate Frisbee in college, and we were at practice one day, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to bring up a picture on the screen. Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Laying out. Oh, there's MKBHD. So at practice one day, did I throw the pass? I don't know. Maybe my team threw the pass to our team was on offense, so we had the disc. So our team threw the pass. It was a pretty long, probably like a 40-50 yard throw, and it was toward the end zone, and it looked like it was going to be caught. And I remember I started walking off. I think it was like the end of practice. I started walking off the field. I was like, game's over, whatever. Practice over. I'm going to go home. And I'm facing away from the field at this point, and I hear behind me a dull snap sound, kind of like a low pitch kind of pop sound, and then I hear Mac. This kid was crazy. I hear Mac starting just screaming in pain, and I turn around, and our teammates are all running towards him. I guess he had jumped up for the disc, fallen down hard somehow, and we all gather around him, and he's like, "Oh, my leg, my leg." Uh, Everyone's just like standing around not doing anything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna call. I technically didn't call 911. I called the like campus,
Yeah,
we were
right.
on a university campus police um to come, and yeah, uh so
Was it
he
like a Joe
broke
Theismann or
huh?
it didn't break the skin, did it?
No.
Okay, thank God.
But you could definitely see like it was messed up.
Hmm,
Like it's in my brain, dude. That and the sound are in my brain forever.
I get
Um
that.
so yeah, we knew that he messed up his leg. He's just screaming in pain. So the campus police come and they're like, "What do you want us to do?" He's like laying on the field. "What do you want us to do?" I was like, "We should probably get you to like a hospital, to like an emergency room or something." And he Mac is like, "No, no, no, I don't want to pay for an ambulance. No, 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 don't do it. I'll have my parents come pick me up." So I got one of the other, so me and another guy decided to hang back. Practice was over, so people kind of, were checking on him, but we're all getting out of there. So me and Tom stayed back and chilled with Mac in the car. This is winter time too, so it's freezing out. So we're sitting
Hmm.
in the car with the heat on. Tom's car is almost out of gas, but whatever. His parents are gonna come pick him up. It's like a 45-minute drive one way for them to come pick him up, but that's what he wanted. So meanwhile, Mac, he's this freaking Zoomer kid. He's crazy. He's in the back seat laying down. We had propped him up in the bench seat in the back, laying with his legs outstretched. And he's not, TikTok wasn't a thing back then. He's Snapchatting like, "I just broke my freaking leg. Look at it." And he's like screaming and like laughing in pain, like he's hysterical, like he's in shock sort of. And we're just like keeping him talking and stuff. And like whenever it would, like the talking would pause, he'd be like, "Guys, keep talking." So we would just like talk to him about random stuff, and eventually his parents came and picked him up. And um yeah, the pain was getting worse for him as time went on too, because like there was adrenaline initially. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was the only time I called 911. That kid is hilarious though. He was super annoying. It was funny. So my wife, girlfriend at the time, worked at the university library and like the technical help desk, for printers and stuff. I remember her complaining one day after coming back from work and being like, "There's this annoying redhead kid who like comes to the library every single day and just flirts with people." And I was like, "Annoying redhead. Is his name Macaulay McDougal?" And she was like, "That's him." So we
What a
both
name.
bonded over, yeah, this kid, absolute legend. I wonder what he's up to nowadays. That kid was wild. He's like your typical kind of kid who like in high school you'd probably be like, "This kid's going nowhere. You are literally just, you are so annoying, you're gonna be a deadbeat." But then in college, he's so like personable and quirky and goofy and talks to anything that has ears that he probably will do well in some like sales role. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Do we have any other topics to discuss? Any other personal ramblings?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Okay. We're an hour 30, 39 and pretty good. Okay. I think that does it for the MouseCast podcast. Um, Thank you guys all for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, consider subscribing and sharing it with your fellow mouse nerds. If you have a question or want to submit a topic for us to discuss, leave it in the comments. We do read all the comments. We'll be back next Friday for another episode, so get subscribed so you don't miss out. We'll see you guys then.
We'll see you.